EBH,
Mhm.
other than the changes in the Bs and the Ds, I didn't see anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty, this one's pretty straightforward here, just as relates to detailed budget, income expenditure. So yeah, besides the grammatical and then Ds and the Bs, that was pretty much it with this one.
Is that okay with everybody?
Mhm.
Yep.
Great.
Then
Thank
EB is next. I have a couple questions on this one. One, the real picky one will be right before, on the first page, right before it says district emergency plans.
Mhm.
It will say security will serve, it should be as, not so, but that's no big deal. But the other one I have is on the fourth line. I'm just curious. What's the difference between healthy and healthful? Is there a difference?
Which line are you referring to, Dr. Cuneo?
A fourth line where it says the maintenance of healthful and safe conditions. What's the difference between healthy and healthful? I didn't know. I never heard of health.
Yeah, healthful that was just the language that was in the MSBA recommendation that we carried over, but it very much could be healthy instead of healthful.
Does healthful make sense to anybody? I just never heard the word.
It was a first for me too. So
Okay, good. It wasn't just me.
no, it wasn't just I was rolling with it. I was like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing here. So
Can we change that to healthy? It makes more
yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
Done.
All right, that was the only thing I had on that one. This should be quick today. There wasn't a lot that,
Pretty cut and dry.
yeah.
Oh, you want to do the
What's our
policy first?
next? EBC?
Yes.
I didn't have anything on this one. Nothing. Did anybody else?
Mm-mm.
Big thing that I had on this is the emergency plan was moved to EB. Okay, that's fine.
Yep. Yeah, we just want better separation between drills and safety plans. It didn't make sense to have safety plan stuff in the drill policy.
No. Nor did I see anything in the reg.
Mhm.
EBR.
Pretty clear.
I have a question on this one. And it's just because I was trying to figure this out. Fourth paragraph. The temporary policy will be effective beginning the date the board adopts it and ending on June 30th, 2022.
Oh, it should be 23.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out why do I have a policy?
That was an error on my part.
No, okay, no, that's fine. I was just trying to figure out how it didn't make any sense to me. Okay, let's change that. That was the only thing I had on this one. I was just trying to figure out, do we need a policy that says that?
Yeah. Yeah, if it was sunsetting, no, we wouldn't.
Yeah, the sunset, let's leave it be. Anybody else have any on those?
Dr. Cuneo, you didn't have anything on GBEBA?
Yes, I do. There's
Okay,
some things that I'm curious about on here, not on the first paragraph, okay? Does this also include, this is just for staff and administrators, not for board members? And
So
the reason why I'm asking that is, what happens if they go to a conference? Does that mean? Is that that's a learning environment? Can you not drink at a conference?
So this policy does cover everyone as far as a drug and alcohol free workplace.
But you see, here's where I was talking about.
Conducting district business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's conducting district business or a learning environment.
Mhm.
Now, I don't think if we have I don't think if I have a governing council meeting, I don't think that I should be drinking alcohol at that point, if we're on Zoom.
Mhm.
But if I go to a conference, let's say, okay, let's go MSBA. I consider that a learning environment. Let's say that Stiefel decides to put on a 1 hour reception before we eat. Can we drink alcohol?
I guess the bigger question is whether or not you're conducting
Conducting
district
district
business
business.
at that time.
I'm getting paid for doing a district business. It's on, I'm on the,
You're not getting paid. You do this for free, Dr. Coney.
right, but my, yeah, I know, 23 years worth. Yeah, but but aren't I on somebody else's dime for the room, somebody else's dime
Mhm.
for the meal? Should we put an exclusionary? I'm trying to figure out how we can write that in.
I
Yeah.
guess we would consider if we're at a conference, are we conducting district business at a conference? Are we attending the conference for professional development and growth? And is that different?
Yeah, I think the way I'm reading this is really about when you're on the premises of SSD or in school, or if you are like in like they said, the field trip, athletic event, anybody, this is more for our employees too. But also when you're representing in a board fashion in a meeting, that would be different. Now, if you're at a professional conference, that's different.
Yeah, like I would think of the award ceremonies where we have an open opportunity for staff, like our not the Xander's Award, but the employee
Mhm.
award, that they have
Absolutes.
a cocktail
Yeah,
hour,
absolutes.
they have that.
Yep.
That to me would be different.
Yeah.
To
I'm
me,
not
that's a social setting.
I'm not disagreeing,
Yeah.
it should be, but is that what we're saying?
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean, Kevin, you want to, I
Well, I
don't
was just
see,
gonna say, I mean, really, if you look at it though, the policy in that section really hasn't changed that much. All we've added is the virtual component to it. It's the cross out and changes are mostly just grammatical.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out how we do an exclusion, because our policy would seem that we're on an alcohol and drug-free time throughout. And I'm not saying that we should be, especially at a conference or things like that, but I don't think that's what it says. I'm trying to think, how can I say that?
I don't read it that way though.
Okay, then if
I don't
no one else reads it that way, I'm not gonna argue it.
I
The
mean,
other-
Kevin, do
the
you
other
see it that
point-
way?
Does anyone else see it that way?
I mean, I don't see it that way as something that if it's extending beyond the regular workday and you're no longer doing district business, I don't think it would fall under that.
But truly, you're only doing district business when you're, as a board member, when you're in the board meetings.
Okay,
Yeah, I
I like
consider
that.
that a social setting.
I like that,
Mhm.
because it would only be in a meeting, okay. Because otherwise you would not be doing official business.
Yeah, the official is doing the board meetings. But outside of that, you might attend a professional development conference, but it's not like you're officially in the board capacity running a meeting.
Okay. The other thing I had on this, the last 4 lines, starting with that we added to cover virtual working and learning environment. district approved work accommodation to work from home. I agree with it completely. How are we gonna monitor that? Or how do you monitor that?
So that's a challenging one. It's going to come down to if a supervisor interaction is something suspect, and then you would go through the same investigation process you would if they were on site.
Okay, I was just, when I read it, I thought, yeah, that sounds great. Now, how do I monitor it? Okay.
Yeah. And if you time travel back to 2020, there were some people who were engaging in activity that was pretty brazen in that area, that it wouldn't have been much of an investigation.
Okay. I had nothing else on this. Our next is 1K. I had nothing on this. Wendy, on the one that we added on this, okay? Is that by law?
You guys can hear me if I take myself off mute. That is in direct correlation to the Senate Bill 681. By us having that statement.
Okay, can we reference that then somehow?
I put it in the very bottom. If you
Is
see,
that the 167,645 RSMO?
It is, yes.
Yes,
that's-
sir.
Okay, that's great. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that was referenced somewhere. 'Cause I
Yes,
didn't
sir.
see Somebody coming back on it. Okay, great. Thank you. I didn't see anything in this.
or yeah, it's very cut and simple.
The only other thing that I would say is everybody's done the Bs and the Ds and on the district and the board for Dr. Asner. Because he wanted to make sure those were all done, and I'm guessing they were, but he looks at those, just want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
We should send him a note, say, we did what you said. All right. Anything else? Everybody have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Stay
Well,
warm
see
in
them-
Chicago.
Will do. I'm going out to see the mouse. Thank you.
Have
Bye.
fun.
Bye.
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 Bye.